incredible IQ. He understands the sport. He looks at it in a mental sense. He knows what he needs to do.
Yes, he did. He said, well, if Ray Leonard could beat Marvelous Marvin Hagler, then Terence Crawford can beat Canelo Alvarez.
Terence got a great chance to beat him, man. I mean, Terence can box, Terence can move, Terence can punch. You know what I mean? Terence ain't gonna be doing like Skull.
Lennox Lewis is shocked by Terence Crawford's intense training ahead of the Canelo fight. He applauds Crawford's discipline and high-level boxing IQ, stressing that when Crawford is fully focused, he always finds a way to win. Lewis believes this preparation proves Crawford is completely ready for the challenge.
Stay at the top and be at the top. He moves very well. He's a very elusive mover, and his work rate is high.
I won't ask you who's going to win the fight because I know it's a question you've probably been asked a million times, but I will ask you, do you think this fight goes the distance, or do you think this fight ends inside the distance?
Interesting.
Terence Crawford's trainer, Brian Bomac McIntyre, has made it clear that the spotlight isn't overwhelming his fighter. He insists there's no pressure on Crawford heading into this historic showdown with Canelo Alvarez. According to Bomac, Crawford has remained locked in, approaching the fight as just another challenge in his legendary career. He explained that Crawford's preparation has been sharp, deliberate, and fully focused on execution. For Crawford, it's not about the magnitude of the moment. It's about proving he's the true pound-for-pound king. Bomac stressed that his fighter is mentally calm, physically ready, and strategically prepared to shock the boxing world.
Have a fight rather than maybe boxing. No, I don't think there's no pressure for Terence because Terence will fight the way that he's used to fighting. So by saying all that stuff that Turkey say or anybody else say, that doesn't bother Terence not one bit. You know, we train for one way, the way we're going to fight, and that's the way we're going to get the job done.
People talk about this fight and they talk about the outcome of the fight. The sort of narrative online is that, look, Terence is moving up in weight. We all know Terence can crack. When that fight was made with Errol Spence, it was seen as a 50-50 fight, and in reality what it was one of the most destructive performances I've ever seen. Should fans be surprised if Terence could manage to stop him?
I think that fans are going to be surprised when he dismantled Canelo. The more time goes on, the more time Terence can settle into that weight, the worse it's off for the opponent.
The last one for me, because I know this time is now at that minute as we were talking, so I just have one more question. If he manages to get to Canelo Alvarez, does that cement his place on the Mount Rushmore in boxing?
You just answered the question.
Rhetorical.
Legendary commentator Larry Merchant drew a striking parallel between past classics and the upcoming Crawford versus Canelo showdown. He recalled Sugar Ray Leonard's iconic upset over Marvin Hagler, a fight many believed Leonard had little chance of winning. Merchant explained that Crawford's position mirrors that historic moment. The smaller, quicker technician stepping up against a naturally bigger, stronger champion. Just as Leonard relied on speed, movement, and ring intelligence to outmaneuver Hagler, Merchant believes Crawford possesses the same tools to trouble Canelo. He emphasized that sharp footwork, precise timing, and controlling the pace will be key. In Merchant's view, boxing history has already provided the blueprint, and Crawford has everything needed to execute it flawlessly.
I asked the great Larry Merchant, I said, do you think Terence Crawford has a chance to beat Canelo Alvarez? And Larry said, Jim, did Ray Leonard get an official decision victory over Marvelous Marvin Hagler? And I said, yes, he did. He said, well, if Ray Leonard could beat Marvelous Marvin Hagler, then Terence Crawford can beat Canelo Alvarez. And I said, why do you say that? He said, same equation, get in, get out, get in, get out, over and over and over. He's got to figure the angles and the approaches that will allow him to step in, land to the body, or occasionally upstairs, and get out. That's what Ray did so effectively against Hagler.
Respected trainer Buzzy Ennis made a bold claim when breaking down the fight, pointing out that Canelo Alvarez has shown signs of frustration in the past when matched against slick, mobile opponents. He warned that Terence Crawford is exactly the kind of fighter who can test Canelo's patience. Unlike William Skull or other challengers who lack the skill to trouble him, Crawford excels at creating angles, landing precise counters, and forcing opponents into uncomfortable situations. Ennis stressed that this clash won't come down to brute strength, but to who can control the rhythm of the fight. If Crawford can successfully frustrate Canelo, Ennis believes it could pave the way for a career-defining victory.
You know that if he can't touch you, you know what I mean? That's it. You know what I mean?
Now, did watching that make you feel like Terence Crawford has better than a 50% chance after watching? I know we've seen him against Lara back in the day, but now this is supposed to be a new and improved Canelo.
Yeah. I think, like I said, Terence got a great chance to beat him, man. You know what I mean? Terence can box, Terence can move, Terence can punch. You know what I mean? Terence ain't gonna be doing like Skull. Terence gonna fight you. You know what I mean? He's Terence from the street, man. You know what I mean? He know what to do. You know what I mean? When it comes down to it, I think he's gonna wind up frustrating Canelo. You know what I mean?
So what's the right way? Because Skull was moving too much. It's as soon as he as soon as you turn him, then is that when you start firing off?
Well, see, the thing is, the right way, the way I would have my fighter doing is, I'm boxing him, you know what I mean? And he coming at me, I'm hitting him, pop, 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 pop. And soon he gets set, I'll tie him up. Walk him to the center. You know what I mean? We cruise to the ropes and do the same thing good. Keep on frustrating, hit with the jab, boom, boom. Keep on moving, but also hitting him, though. You know what I mean? And he gets frustrated, then he let his guards down. Then there's a good night.
Bernie Thaw, a key voice in Terence Crawford's corner, delivered a strong warning to Canelo Alvarez. He boldly stated that Canelo is tailor-made for Crawford, explaining that the Mexican star's powerful, methodical, and somewhat predictable style plays right into Crawford's strengths. According to Bernie, Crawford's instincts, discipline, and fearless mindset give him the perfect tools to read opponents, adjust mid-fight, and take control. He emphasized that Crawford isn't stepping into this mega fight just to participate. He's coming to dominate. Bernie made it clear that Crawford knows exactly what it takes to win and is prepared to walk through fire to prove it.
Well, a lot of people are saying about Crawford's age, but, no boxing, no life, as Canelo would say. And Crawford still, in age, but he ain't took no punishment. He's kept cautious. He works hard throughout these years. So, of course, you're gonna, you gotta count that in a factor. But in his heart, and his mind, his spirit, he's still youthful about boxing. He loves boxing, and this is one way to get him up. He's a challenge guy. He loves a challenge, and Canelo is the biggest challenge you can get. We got to go up 2 weight classes, really 3 weight classes to get a guy like that. Hardest puncher, great counter puncher, tons of experience, undisputed champion, unified champion, a couple of divisions champion, and so we didn't get the Pacquiao or the Mayweather, but we getting Canelo, and nothing comes easy to Team Crawford, and expect us to look good on the 12th. Expect us to come out victorious September 12th.
Now, we obviously just saw his fight against Skull, and people didn't obviously enjoy it, the back foot boxing from Skull and whatever, but what fight can fans expect from Bud? Because a lot of people think that it'll be similar to that or the Charlo fight or whatever like that.
The one thing about Crawford is he got guts. Them bums ain't have no guts. Them bums didn't want to win. Crawford want to win. That's it. It ain't about no belt. It ain't about nothing. You didn't sign a contract. We want to win, and he want to be the best, and he is the best. So that's what's going to be the difference. Crawford got guts. He got a fighting spirit. So when you see Crawford, he going to go in there and get busy with Canelo. Don't you even doubt that. You understand? You ain't never seen Crawford stay on the back foot in no fight in his life. You understand? He the type of guy to go get you. So expect him to go get him. We're going to do everything we can to him. We're going to do whatever we got to do. But one thing you can expect is Crawford is going to step to him. Because you can't beat Canelo going on a back foot forever. You got to go get him. You got to do something. And he better know Crawford is coming.
In preparation for Canelo, Terence Crawford has sought out high-level sparring partners who can replicate the Mexican champion style. One of the key names brought in is Lester Martinez, a seasoned professional with strong fundamentals and physicality. Martinez has been pushing Crawford in training by bringing pressure, power, and ring craft reminiscent of Canelo's approach. Reports indicate that Crawford has looked sharp in these sessions, adjusting to Martinez's strength while displaying his trademark counterpunching and precision. Sparring with opponents like Martinez is helping Crawford fully adapt to the size and power of a true super middleweight, ensuring he enters fight night ready for the challenge.
Preparation for sparring, like Terence being with Lester Martinez, he's about as good a concoction you could hope for as a sparring partner. I need a guy who can come forward with good timing, who's sharp, got good power in both hands. Lester Martinez for Terence Crawford. If you're Canelo, I need a guy that can switch. I need a guy with length. I need a guy with power, with skill. He gets Derrick James, who's 6'1", 154. He switch hits, southpaw, mostly southpaw like Terence, but can switch. Good long. His arms are almost the exact same length as Terence Crawford. And he's a young 23-year-old good athlete. And then I don't know if Canelo's sparring with Marco Verde, who won the silver medal for Mexico, but Marco Verde would, again, 5'11", long arms, southpaw, can switch. I would think between Derrick James and Marco Verde, Canelo's getting awesome preparation. And then Terence with Lester Martinez. This is speculative, but someone did mention it to me on Twitter when I was talking about Canelo preparing with Valsaint. They go, well, Lester Martinez had to go home with migraines and pull out of a fight, and he was sparring with Terence Crawford. So, I mean, it's speculative, but you're like, well, if you put 2 and 2 together, if he was getting migraines from sparring Terence Crawford and had to pull out of a fight because of it, then that must mean Terence Crawford is doing well in the gym.
Analysts are buzzing about the stylistic clash that Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford promises to deliver. Canelo is renowned for his deliberate, thunderous approach, pressuring opponents with patience before exploding with punishing combinations. His devastating body shots and uppercuts have broken down many elite fighters. Crawford, on the other hand, thrives on rhythm, improvisation, and constant movement. He switches stances seamlessly, creates sharp angles with pivots, and strikes with sudden, precise counters. Experts argue this matchup isn't simply power versus speed, it's calculation versus creativity. Canelo represents strength and method, while Crawford embodies unpredictability and adaptability. Together, their contrasting styles could produce one of the most fascinating chess matches in modern boxing.
Predictable. I think Canelo, he likes to go to the same combinations, quite repetitively, whereas Crawford is unpredictable, and despite him not having the size, it's the shots that you don't see that hurt the most, and maybe Crawford can hit him with some unexpected shit. And because of the repetitiveness of Canelo, maybe he can time him, maybe he can counter punch with him, because Crawford is unbelievable at that. But I'm fascinated to see if Crawford has the power to get the respect of Canelo Alvarez, because when you don't, it's a long night. It's not nice. Like Crawford did well against Madrimov, and he won that fight for me quite clearly. But Madrimov was countering him. If you can counter the counter puncher, you can give them a lot of problems when they're not used to that. And Canelo can counter people really well. And as great as Terence Crawford is, we've never seen him in there with someone with the power of Canelo Alvarez. This is a different world of power. And look, maybe Canelo doesn't throw as many shots as he used to, and maybe Crawford might look at that and go, you know what, I'm going to try and outpoint this guy, not get into a war with him, but just show my boxing, genius and outpoint him and outland him. That's possible. It is. This is why this is such a fascinating matchup, man. We've been treated to some amazing fights. Usyk Fury, for example, this is another one of those mega fights on Riyadh Seas.
For Terence Crawford, winning isn't just an option, it's instinct. His entire career has been built on resilience and the ability to rise when the stakes are highest. In preparing for Canelo Alvarez, Crawford has pushed himself to new limits in training, ensuring he can maintain intensity across all 12 grueling rounds. On the other side, reports suggest Canelo has been sharpening his arsenal as well, sparring with younger, faster fighters to mimic Crawford's speed, agility, and unpredictability. Both camps recognize the magnitude of this showdown, and neither is leaving a single detail to chance.
They had this little fracas. It looked kind of WWE to me, but we know Crawford is coming to try to win. That's his DNA, that's his nature, and I think that's what he will attempt to do. So it will be up to Canelo to show him moving up to this weight class was a mistake. Weight classes exist for a reason. So I really like what I'm seeing. Canelo getting young sparring partners in there. He probably is giving them advice and using them for their energy. It's like 50 Cent said in Hustler's Ambition when he said, I need you to hate so I can use you for your energy, right? He's using these younger fighters because Canelo was once the young, hungry fighter, right? And now he's using these younger fighters and sparring with them and working with them as he prepares for this. Now, I think there is something on the line for both fighters. Canelo, baby, you'll want the baby, I know that. And also Terence Crawford. But this, especially for Canelo Alvarez, he's not going to want to lose this fight because it's a smaller person. I think it'll be more embarrassing.
Former champion Zab Judah had high praise for Terence Crawford, calling attention to his sharpness, speed, and rare ability to blend power with precision. Judah boldly predicted that Crawford's mix of speed and accuracy could be enough to put Canelo Alvarez on the canvas. He described Crawford as one of the few fighters with both the ring intelligence and natural gifts to truly trouble Canelo. In Judah's view, this fight may go beyond simply winning rounds. There's a real chance Crawford could deliver a statement-making knockout.
Let's talk about the fight. What you guys think about the fight? Let's get real.
Crawford in one. Nah, I'm just playing. Nah, I think Crawford.
You see how you don't believe in Crawford? You don't believe in Crawford in one?
No, Crawford in one? No, hell no. Crawford in one? No.
Okay.
I got Crawford by decision.
I got Crawford by decision too. And I got Crawford by I got Crawford by a beatdown. If he do what I think he's gonna do, be smooth early and then step it up 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. By the 9th, 10th round, we might see Canelo go sit down. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. If he step it up the way he's supposed to, and that I think I know he can do. Watch what I say, y'all. Watch what I say.
Sit down.
Sit down.
By stumblage, like by balance or something like that, by hurt.
Punches putting people down. I haven't watched, but I'm telling you, that boy is strong. He's sharp. Speed.
Derrick James, one of boxing's most respected trainers, issued a clear warning to Canelo Alvarez. He emphasized that Terence Crawford is unlike any opponent Canelo has faced before. While Canelo has shared the ring with big punchers and skilled technicians, Crawford combines rare fluidity with explosive power. James explained that Crawford is extremely difficult to time and often thrives when the pressure is at its highest, delivering his best performances in the biggest moments. He cautioned that Canelo must bring his absolute best on fight night, because underestimating Crawford could prove to be a costly mistake.
I think it's a good fight. I think that it's a great challenge because I think both guys have great attributes, right? That they do, and I think they have great attributes. I think that so we're looking to possibly see a great matchup, a great fight. One could be an intellectual fight from Crawford, smart, intelligent fight, and I think Canelo probably has to be the matador in this one.
He has to be the what?
Matador.
Matador, yeah.
You got to, basically, what let me see, the bull.
The bull.
You got to be the bull.
Canelo has to be the bull in this one.
You got to be, because I think you're fighting somebody faster, more athletic. You got to put whatever it is that he's doing, he has to be better at that than he is at any other night in his life.
But the big talk here and the thing that I always go back to is just the weight class. Crawford's going up 3 weight classes. The last time he fought, he went up on weight, fought Madrimov. You say you don't watch boxing, but he got, a lot of people. Madrimov.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, 154.
I saw that fight.
Rising star Jiren Bootsins shared his thoughts on the matchup, calling it a true 50-50 fight. He acknowledged Canelo Alvarez's size, experience, and proven dominance at higher weight classes, but also highlighted Terence Crawford's unmatched skill set, adaptability, and mental toughness. Ennis explained that the fight is unpredictable because both men have weapons that can neutralize each other. He concluded that fans should expect a razor-close battle where every round matters, and either man could walk away victorious.
50-50 fight, I guess it's a fight that everybody wants to see, so it's a good fight.
How difficult is it to make that jump from, he only had one fight at 54, so like 147, 154, it's 168 pounds.
You said how difficult is it?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be a little difficult because you're going to have to put on like an extra 14 pounds, so he might be a little slower, or who knows, he could be faster, I don't know. Like, it's just, you got to add more weight and gain more muscle and stuff like that. Moving up a weight and things like that, so it's a little harder. But I don't know. We'll see on fight night how he'll look.
What does Terence Crawford have to do to be successful in that fight?
Be smart. Take his time. Box and move. Yeah, don't sit there and let him try to bomb on him.
What about Canelo Alvarez?
I feel like Canelo might just hit the pressing, everything behind the stick, and catch him, trying to pull out, pull back, anything, cutting the ring off, things like that.
Is it one of those situations where you try to punch on like the smaller man's like arms?
You might have to bully him. You might have to bully the smaller guy.
Former middleweight champion Daniel Jacobs, who once shared the ring with Canelo Alvarez, offered a seasoned perspective on the matchup. Jacobs acknowledged Canelo's elite status, but pointed out that Terence Crawford has displayed the sharpness and determination in training to compete at the highest level. He suggested that Crawford may need to apply pressure at key moments, testing Canelo's stamina and work rate over the stretch of the fight. While admitting the challenge is massive, Jacobs firmly stated that Crawford has a genuine chance. Having witnessed Crawford's training intensity firsthand, Jacobs believes the Omaha-born star can rise to the occasion and possibly shock the world.
Canelo Alvarez, and since then, obviously, naturally, he's slightly declined. Do you see this decline that people talk about?
Well, I can see in increments because Canelo, which I've always said is an amazing legendary fighter, but he fights in spurts. So sometimes it takes for the opponent to actually initialize him giving the best. When he was faced with me, the opposition that I had and what I was giving him, it was just a lot, whether it was boxing, whether it was coming forward, but most importantly, it was the punches and bunches. And so he was forced to either stand there, wait for the right time, or be combative and go back at it. So I think that's what Crawford may have to do. Push the pressure, make Canelo fight, or maybe just play it safe, win on points,
That's all for today's video, fight fans. Stay tuned for more updates, breakdowns, and inside takes on the biggest matchups in boxing. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a beat.